My name is Shawn O'Hara. I'm thankful to the Mississippi Democratic Party for certifying me to run for state treasurer. I have a very simple platform. It's only 78 words. First, we need to build 200 ethanol plants in 200 small towns in Mississippi to lower the price of gasoline. Are you tired of paying high prices for gas? Well, if I'm successful and I'm able to build 200 ethanol plants in 200 small towns, we will create 8,000 new jobs for Mississippi. And if we're able to use sugar-based ethanol, we could drop the price of fuel down $1.21 to $1.35 per gallon. Does it sound ridiculous? Guess what? The country of Brazil is self-sufficient on sugar-based ethanol. In this country, we're using corn-based ethanol, and that's fine. The sugar-based ethanol, we could actually run 85 out of every 100 cars in this country. This is very important because the federal government wants 35 billion gallons of alternative fuel produced. We're only producing 7 billion gallons a year right now. They want that in 10 years. Under my plan, that's an additional 6 billion gallons of alternative fuel. We can flood the area with alternative fuel and drop the price of gas. Lower gas prices, we certainly need them. Second, we need to stop charging tax on groceries. If you remember the third time I had run for governor, that was my main issue. That was also my friend's main issue, and we had campaigned throughout the entire state together saying, stop charging tax on groceries. But don't be hoodwinked. We don't need to raise the price of the tax on cigarettes to stop charging tax on groceries. We can get rid of a lot of pork that's in government. What kind of pork? We don't need 152 school superintendents who make $16 million a year. Some of those superintendents have as many as 70 employees. We have a teacher shortage in Mississippi? Sure. Well, those administrative people need to be in the classroom or they need to go somewhere else. We don't need pork in government in Mississippi. Why does the governor need to live in a $40 million mansion? Why does he need to drive a car paid for by you and paid for by me? Why are all these vehicles on state campuses that they go off campus with a full tank of gas and come back with an empty tank? We need to be thrifty. We need to cut the pork in government. Why do government employees have cell phones and bill you and I for the cost when they're not using those phones mainly for governmental work? Third, we need to provide free college internet classes. I have 5 college degrees. I never again want someone to have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy recycled education when we should have free college internet classes. This is a terrific idea. Most people could take classes at their convenience. Right now, college discriminates against single working mothers, elderly who live in rural areas, and the handicapped. We should never, never, never have any barriers to education to prevent people from receiving collegiate degrees. Let's stop selling people on 2-year degrees and 4-year degrees. Let's start getting them to take free college internet classes so they can receive master's degrees and PhD degrees and JD degrees and MD degrees. Will this program work? Certainly. There's a program set up right now called CLEP. There's about 30 courses that's offered in CLEP. You can take up to 2 classes per month. This program is offered at nearly every major college and university in the country, but it's hidden. The students don't know how to access it. If you go and you take a test and you pass the test, you receive 3 credits or one class for just passing a 90-minute test. We would set the free college internet classes up similar to that. But again, people could study at their own convenience. Right now, it costs at least $50,000 to earn a 4-year college degree. How's come so much? Because you have to factor in food, clothes, shelter, transportation, and a bunch of other things with the educational costs. That's a lot of money. And right now, 1 out of every 4 college students who receives loans, they're not able to pay them back. 1 out of every 2 college students is struggling to pay back their student loans. So why should we force future teachers and future business people and future entrepreneurs, why should we force them to get out of college with a year degree and owe a lot of money. Fourth, we need equal pay for equal work for women. Women have been cheated in the workforce for years. Ladies, you don't need to sit on the back seat of the bus. Why are women only paid 74 cents for every dollar that a man makes for the same type of job? That's wrong, wrong, wrong. We need equal pay for equal work for women. Minorities are paid less than that on the average. They're paid 60 cents to every dollar that a white male makes. That's wrong. Fifth, we need to protect our children and put seat belts on all school buses. If you or I drive down the road without a seat belt, we're going to get a ticket. And guess what? If we don't pay our fine, we're probably going to get locked up. Why do our politicians force small children on a daily basis to get on school buses and not have seat belts? Somebody's not thinking, from the governor all the way down to the local mayors. Somebody's not thinking to force small children to get on school buses every day without seat belts to protect them. Sixth, I have a 3-strike and you're out program. I want employers and landlords to stop hiring and housing illegal aliens. How will this work? As state treasurer, the first time I go to a corporation and I find an illegal alien working, we'll have a $100,000 fine against the corporation or the landlord. The second time, it's another $100,000 fine. And the third time, I'll put a tax lien and a lock on the business and close them down, because hiring and housing illegal aliens is a felony offense. It's wrong. We have worker guest programs in this country where people can come over and work. And of course, we want immigrants to come here legally like our forefathers came here. But we don't want between 12 million and 20 million illegal aliens in this country, a lot of whom is being paid less than minimum wage. And guess what? For every $1 they do pay in taxes, it's costing you and I $3. Why? Because they're using the school system, the hospitals, the police department, the fire department. In Hattiesburg alone, that's where I live at. One illegal alien was killed about 3 weeks ago. 6 illegal aliens was charged with that killing. That means we're going to have to pay to represent those 6 illegal aliens during a murder trial. And once they're convicted and go to prison, then we're going to have to pay to house them in prison. It's very important for us to realize that we, the citizens of the state of Mississippi, have been ripped off too long by government. We need lower gas prices. We need to stop charging tax on food. We need to go ahead and provide free college internet classes. We need equal pay for equal work for women. We need to protect children and put seatbelts on school buses and stop hiring and housing illegal aliens. My name's Shawn O'Hara. I'm running for state treasurer. I pulled about 279,000 votes in the primaries. My opponent pulled about 131,000. If you like my message, I'm asking you to please tell your friends you heard me today and ask them to vote for Shawn O'Hara. I thank you so much for listening to me. And again, I have a very simple 78-word platform. My website is www.msdemocrat.net. Again, that's www.msdemocrat.net. It's so important for us to work together because we can be the most powerful state in the nation. In conclusion, I don't think there's many people in this state that would say we don't need lower gas prices. I don't think there's many people that would say we're paying too much tax on groceries. We need, or they wouldn't say we're paying so much. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. And my prayer for you is that God tremendously blesses your life far greater than you can imagine. Please vote Shawn O'Hara, State Treasurer, and ask your friends to vote for me too. Thank you, and God bless you.